Choice again. I'm just going to talk you through how you would change a immersion heater on a cylinder. So you get to the job, you've been told you need to replace it. So first of all you find out where it is. Here it is. You then have to isolate the water, which you would do on the cold feed coming down, which in a nice scenario up here is a wheel-headed valve or a gate valve. I'm going to turn that righty-tighty, and I'm going to hope it works. They're not the greatest valves in the world. They're a low pressure valve, but it should turn it off. It comes down. I now need to drain it out. So I obviously need a hose. So I'm going to put the hose on the lowest point on the drain valve, which is obviously at the bottom. Now I'm going to put that on, and I'm going to cross my fingers and hope it drains. But a lot of times, because they're at the lowest point, it's where you get bits of rubbish, bits of debris, and it can block. They're easily blocked. So, how do I get the water out? Another option is to siphon it out. So you would potentially take the nut off for here, or you take it off the top. You put in the hose, and you get lower than the point, and you suck. And what you're doing is the gravity is pushing down on the water, but as you're sucking on the hose, you're making the pressure inside the hose less. And water wants to go where there's less pressure, so gravity that is at ground level 1 bar is pushing down. I've took the pressure out, I've made a vacuum, water pushes it out, and then you can just leave it to trickle out. When it's time to take the immersion off, you've got two options, one that is good, one that is terrible, and that's with these. These I've never worked with well. I just think they're hard to use. They never seem to get onto the immersion heater well because there's always lagging. And you don't want to cut the lagging off. The lagging's there to keep the heat in. Part L, it's all about, of the building rig, it's all about how we insulate, how we keep it in. The littlest bit on show would potentially let heat out, and it's going to waste you money as the client, as the homeowner. So I've never really liked these. These are much better. Box ones. They fit on a lot easier and are much more effective. You're going to put it on, make sure it's tight, it feels tightly on, and then you're going to push it around. There's different tricks you can use as you put it on, LSX and stuff that lubricates, but you've got to just be careful, hold it, don't put too much weight. If you're having trouble, don't be tempted to put on a pipe or something to make it longer, because if you put too much pressure, this is only a copper cylinder. You could bend it, you could break it, and then if you do, it isn't just changing the immersion, your job's become change the whole cylinder, because once they're broke, they're broke. So always be careful. Obviously once it's done, you would have to take your hose off, shut it off, open up our valve, let the water in, and we're going to test it. And I'm looking, what have I opened? I've opened the drain cock, so even though I've turned it off, I want to make sure there's no water coming out of that, and I've put this in. I want to make sure the water's not seeping around the edge. Always test your pipework.